Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today I have a knife review. And this is a different location, but I'll explain that in a second. And the knife is a Kizer. Kizer knife. This case pouch is familiar with a lot of the higher end Kizers. They come with this. And the knife is this beauty right here. And this is the Kizer Sliver, which is just an awesome, cool looking, beautiful knife that comes in at a very surprisingly affordable price. So let's talk about it real quick. First off, I want to say, like I said, this knife did come with the pouch. It comes in a very nice box. The presentation and the unboxing of it is an excellent experience. And these Chinese knife companies, like Real Steel and Kizer, do an excellent job with their presentation of the knife and the packaging. So it makes it a very enjoyable experience to purchase one of these knives. Now, this knife specifically is the Kizer Sliver. I'll go over some specs and we'll get into what I like, don't like, and whatnot with the knife. So let's check it out. So first off, the Kizer Sliver overall length is 8.25 inches. The blade length is 3.5 inches long. The cutting edge is 3.37 inches. The blade thickness is 0.09 inches. The handle length is 4.75 inches, and the handle thickness is 0.46. Overall weight on this knife is 3.11 ounces, so it's just over that 3-ounce mark. But in hand, it feels very light, feels very good, excellent solid construction. Now, looking into the actual blade shape of it, we got this awesome thin drop point blade, a tiny little bit of belly, satin finish, plain edge, saber grind blade. It might be listed as a flat grind, but looking at it, it definitely seems like a hollow grind, which makes it an excellent slicer. We have this decorative swedge on top that helps for piercing, just making that tip a little bit finer. Then we have dual thumb studs that are kind of stylized and have some knurling or texturing or jimping on it. There is jimping on the top tang of the blade, and there's kind of a small, I wouldn't say finger choil, but there is a flat there where if you choose to bite up on it, you possibly can. I wouldn't really recommend it. It doesn't seem like it's fully designed for that, but it is there if you choose to use it. That being said, going into the handle, this is my favorite part of the knife for sure as far as the aesthetics and look. We have these awesome like sunburst blaze, I'll say sunburst pleated aluminum handle scales that are just fantastic. They just have these awesome pleats that are cut in or shaped into the aluminum handle scales that just really look cool. The overall handle shape too has a drop here, has an interesting little bump up, and then almost like a reverse tanto at the back end there, terminating in a generous sized lanyard hole. The actual pivot pin is kind of a hexagon shaped star with slots. Now, it's not used, most of us are used to the torque screws for pivot pins. This works well for an Allen wrench. I don't know what size specifically, but an Allen wrench will get in there, and if you have some sort of really thin flathead, you could potentially use a thin flathead to adjust the pivot. The rest of the hardware are silver, and they are torque screws that terminate in 3 barrel spacers. There is no visible stop pin, which means that it's a hidden stop pin that circles around with the tang of the blade. It is on some really nice washers, and I will say that the action on this knife is incredibly smooth. It's definitely the smoothest manual opener I have in my collection right now. It's hard to express how smooth that is. It is a stainless steel liner lock. It has a recessed liner, and the actual liners inside only go to about 3/4 of the way. The last half is just the aluminum handle scales. The overall pleated pattern on the handle and texturing is equal on both sides, and it does have a unique but cool satin finish pocket clip. That means it is tip up right hand carry only. Speaking into the blade again, the blade itself, besides its awesome shape and the overall thin profile of the knife, is added with Kizer's S35VN blade steel, which really makes it cool that you can get such a cool knife with such great blade steel. Now, the big kicker with this knife is, at the time of this video, I got this knife for about $55 to $60 on Amazon, which is a killer deal for not just the fit and finish and the quality of the product, but to get a blade steel of S35VN on a large kind of full-size folder for under $60 is like bonkers. So I will include links in the description below to the Sliver on Amazon. Be sure to use those links. It'll bring you right to the product and pick up one of these, especially if you're interested in testing out S35VN blade steel or just checking out the overall fit and finish of a Kizer product. This is definitely the time to buy. That being said, this knife does come in 2 other colors. It comes in black or green besides this orange. Personally, I really like the orange. It just seems to just catch the light and just shimmer, and it's just such a cool knife. So that being said, we're going to quick compare it. We got the Kizer Sovereign. We have the Kershaw Camber. Love that knife. And we'll do, we got the Spyderco Positron here. All right, so first up, blade length. I know I don't have my table. I'm at a casino right now, casino hotel, while I'm filming this, so I'm trying to crank out a couple of videos. But looks like the Sovereign is definitely one of the longer blades, so it definitely is going to have a longer handle. You can see that the blade is actually shorter in width than most of these other knives, except for the Spyderco Positron is fairly similar. Looking at the blade thickness, blade stock's about the same on the Kizer Sovereign, which makes sense because same company. Looks like on the Kershaw Camber, it might be just a hair thicker, but for the most part, they look about the same thickness. And then on the Positron, looks like the sliver is slightly larger, but the handle's thicker on the Positron. So there you go. So finally, the last test of it all is the ugly brown glove test. In hand, there's jimping on the actual frame and on the tang of the blade, and that actually locks pretty well into the thumb. There isn't much texturing underneath, and so it is fairly smooth. So it does slip there, though the thumb can help to lock it in. If the finger choil was a little bit deeper, it would definitely help with the grip. If I give it a good grab, it does stay in there pretty well as long as I get grip on the actual scale of the handle. Just pinch. Interesting. Let's see. Deploying the lock. It is usable with the glove as far as opening and closing. I will say that when I grab these vertical striations in the tang or in the handle, it actually locks my grip in. But if I get to some of these slanted ones near the pivot, it actually just travels down the slot. So if I'm here and I go up and down, it'll slide. If I'm here and I go up and down, it'll grip a little bit. If I pull forward, it'll slide down. So basically just know that wherever you're grabbing, depending on the angle at which the blade is being pulled, it will either give you grip or not. So, but as far as deployment goes, it's actually very usable with a glove, easy to open and close. Oh, so smooth. Comfortable in this grip. Reverse grip is actually doable as well. So super awesome. Does it pass the ugly brown glove test? Yes, it does. Could it be better? Heck yeah, it's not the best. I say it passes with about 70%. Well, there you have it, guys. This is a really cool knife. I really think anyone, if you're interested in getting into Kizers, this is definitely a place to start. Otherwise, if you just want a cool, unique looking blade with really good materials, this is definitely another good blade to start. Can't say enough. Like it a lot, but you know, I can see how this isn't for everyone either. So there you have it, guys. This is the Kizer Sliver S35VN blade and orange anodized aluminum handle scales. Thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out these other 2 videos here. Click the big round logo button there to subscribe, and I'll see you guys outside. Hope you like the video.